we've got Graham Rahal down here, who unfortunately had that wall contact that we saw. So let's start there. How tricky were the conditions when you were out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, it was actually good to start. I think being up behind Colton kind of early in the group was a benefit. Trying to stay out of trouble, really. We as a team have mightily struggled in the rain over the last handful of years. So we tried to come up with a little plan to throw stuff at it. Unfortunately, we had stiffened the car up quite a bit, for qualifying, and that wasn't going to be the right way for the rain, but we didn't. There's no time to go back, and so it's just tough, but it's the same for everybody. And obviously, I didn't put it together. Or talking to these guys, sounds like everybody was spinning all over, which you couldn't see, but I certainly spun in the wrong spots, and it cost us dearly. So tomorrow's gonna be an interesting day.
This weekend, I know, was a big one, kind of anticipation for this whole team as far as how you guys were going to unload, how the race car was going to be. There's been a lot of work put in. Where are you guys at? What progress, if any, has been made? Yeah,
the street courses have been a major weakness. I think that we've improved on the road courses. That's been clear. But I think this weekend we were struggling. We were all struggling quite a lot. So, look, we're going to have to keep working at it. We threw a lot at it between yesterday and today. This morning seemed somewhat promising, but still was a mid-pack. We could have used dry qualifying just to see what we have, and same with tomorrow. So let's see, man. But this could be interesting. Obviously, it's drying up. You can see it's already drying up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 2 rounds.
Thanks, Graham. Guys are getting out of their cars and engines are firing back on pit road. Got Alexander Rossi, who does not advance from that session. Saw you stopped on the racetrack, but was there another problem that prevented you from getting refired?
Yeah, electrically the car just died. So never seen that before. Lost the dash, lost all power to everything. Sucks. Car was awesome.
Is that so? What were the conditions like out there for you guys, weather-wise? I mean, did you feel like you guys had the pace to advance given the conditions, even though we haven't seen that so far this weekend?
Yeah, man. I think it should have been easy P1 advance, no problem.
All right. Disappointed for Alexander Rossi. They've certainly been fast so far this weekend, and going to have a lot of work to do for them tomorrow as well.
But let's learn more about the driver of the 60, Dylan. It's been a pretty interesting weekend so far.
It has been a whirlwind. There's no doubt about that. I think you've maybe gone through every possible situation here just in a couple of days, but you had speed. I mean, how would you kind of evaluate not only that session, but just the progress you've made over the last 24 hours?
I mean, it's a shame that I didn't get a dry session in a way, because I think every one we were making a step in the right direction. But yeah, that was obviously another challenge with the wet. I don't know what to expect, but I enjoy the wet. But yeah, just you got to find the grip again. When you're lacking a bit of feeling with the car still, it's obviously a little bit more difficult. But I just need some more laps again, like the story of the weekend. So hey, I mean, kept it on the black stuff. Yeah, I struggled to find the grip as the session went on. I actually felt like I had a bit more relative grip at the beginning of the session, so I need to look at that. Nonetheless, I mean, it's first weekend, so every little bit's been getting better and better slightly. So got another sleep on it, and then race day tomorrow. Let's see what that brings.
How much more comfortable did you feel this morning compared to just kind of jumping in with both feet yesterday, having a night to think about it?
Yeah, quite a lot. It makes a huge difference. We changed again, some fundamental things on the car for my driver comfort, because I wasn't entirely comfortable in the car yesterday. So that was a little bit better. But again, you didn't have to get used to it again, because it changed things up quite a lot. Which then you kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back sort of thing. And then the morning was a bit better. I unfortunately got one of my best laps deleted. Otherwise it was not too bad, and then hopefully I was trying to make another jump going into quali, but then it was wet, so yeah, it's a good learning weekend.
All right, that's Tom Blomqvist. He is 10th in Group 2, so if that stands, he'll roll from 20th tomorrow. Well, we got Alex Palou, who is just finishing packing up. So it's not raining, or it wasn't raining as hard on your lap as it is now, but how much did the weather that was in the area impact your laps?
I wouldn't say much, honestly. I just think we didn't really put together everything we had. We had a lot more pace than that, and we couldn't really improve on alternates. So yeah, shame that we're gonna have to start from the back. But yeah, anyway, we know we have a fast car, and we can make it from there.
Is there a more difficult place on the schedule than this to have to start at this far back?
Yeah, I mean, every race. in IndyCar. As soon as you start further than 10th, it's going to be a pretty busy race. So yeah, we're going to have that tomorrow. It's the first one of the year, hopefully the last one. But we will have to work for it for sure.
Yeah, they will have their work cut out for them. If anybody can make it up through the field, though, I think the 10 car is maybe that group, but it's the worst start of the year for Alex Palou.
Now Dylan is with Colton.
That's right, and unfortunately will not advance. The weather conditions are the same for everybody, but how disappointed are you that you weren't in Group 1 that as fast as the race car has been?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely were a lot better in the dry than we were in the wet, unfortunately. Seemed to just not have the rear end and struggled a bit with wheel spin. So we'll see if it's a rain race tomorrow. It's good to get this little bit of practice in. So maybe we can make some adjustments. But yeah, I was just struggling. Couldn't get the lap time down to what other guys were doing.
All right, getting loud down here, guys. And let's check in with Kyle Kirkwood as we just climb over the wall here as the session's about a minute from continuing. Kyle Kirkwood going to end up 8th. So a lot going on out there in that session. Traffic, weather conditions. What did you think of your run?
You know, I thought our run was really good. It was unfortunate the position that we were in. We were stuck behind Renus there, who he ran out just a set of tires, and we had a bit of dag on tires, and I think everyone but him switched tires, which was obviously a mistake, but it cost us too because we just constantly felt like we had to keep backing up behind him. So that was unfortunate. We also went just a little bit too early on tires. I mean, Pato right there just did like one and done, right? And we did 3 or 4 laps on our tires, and the track constantly just evolving, or was constantly evolving. So but we know our car is super fast. You know, I mean, all weekend we've feel like we're a couple tenths clear, which is very rare to say in IndyCar racing. So Andretti Autosport's been doing a fantastic job. Honestly, our car was good enough for pole there in the wet. It just timing was a little bit off.
All right, Kyle Kirkwood going to start from row 4 tomorrow. Scott Dixon does just miss the Fast 6. He'll roll from 7th tomorrow. So sun's coming out. It's getting warm. The rain has stopped. I mean, what are the conditions like? I mean, was there any consideration to maybe try a run on slicks there at the end?
I think we should have done maybe what a couple of the others did and come in for a new set of wets. Like, they can't really take the abuse out there, especially in drying conditions, for very long, and then the fronts just get completely saturated and they were done. So we had a lot of traffic with Lundgaard there for probably the first 5 or 6 laps. He was very slow, and then they obviously came in for tires and made it in. We should have probably done the same thing. So yeah, it's a shame because the car's super fast, but they'll be starting from 7th.
Yeah, and not a bad starting spot, but not as good as you started last year on the front row, obviously. So how much more of a challenge is that, just being a couple rows back?
It's just annoying, I think, when you've got a good car and you can't kind of make the most of it. So yeah, it is what it is. We'll truck on and hopefully have a good race tomorrow.
Scott Dixon rolls from 7th tomorrow. How tough were those conditions out there, and how quickly were they changing?
We were talking about this just before getting in the car, because I have a history in at least go-karts of being fast in the rain. And I've only driven in the rain once in this car, which was Indy GP last year, and we weren't competitive, but the Hy-Vee Vivid car today was there, and I can't thank this team enough. I know this is wet and it's tricky, but looking at where we were on street circuits earlier this year and even last year, we made huge progress, so I can only thank the team at this point.
How important is it here? It's important everywhere, as tight as these fields are, but a place like this, how important is good track position?
I mean, it's a street circuit and it's always important to be in the front, but now we don't really know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, so I think going into tomorrow we are at the front and we just need to take off.
It's always important and always nice to start up front. Christian Lundgaard has qualified on the pole and still waiting, I understand, to just confirm that it's official, but regardless, a great qualifying effort for Lundgaard.